In this video, we're going to look at quotes and tips from hedge fund master and legend, Ray Dalio. Stay tuned. Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. Okay, Ray Dalio, if you haven't heard of him, I bet you have, but if you haven't, Google him, go and find out. He is Bridgewater Capital founder. He's been running it for ages. He's a very successful hedge fund manager, and he has written a couple of books. He's also done, he's written articles. He's got stuff out there on YouTube of how the economic machine works. A very interesting guy and worth listening to. So, got some quotes for you from him. Let's look at them, let's analyze them, and more importantly, let's see how they can affect us to become better traders and investors. Okay, the first one I've got for you. More than anything else, what differentiates people who live up to their potential from those who don't is a willingness to look at themselves and others objectively. What a fantastic quote. I couldn't agree more in terms of trading, in terms of anything. You know, if you just think about this from a trading perspective, okay, you know, the way a lot of traders fail, and I see this and it's sad, is they let their ego get in the way. They just look at something and they say, I'm right, I'm doing this right, and they end up running out of capital, they end up running out of emotional capital, whatever it may be. However, the ones that have at least a good chance are like exactly what Ray Dalio says here. It's they look at themselves and others actually, but themselves specifically, objectively, stepping out of your trading and saying, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? How could I improve? Where's my weaknesses? Where's my strengths? You know, what should I be doing this? What should I be doing that? And just literal self-evaluation, objective evaluation. So not being giving to yourself, to putting yourself too much on a pedestal, not being too negative with yourself, but literally saying, okay, you know what? This is what I'm doing. I'm going to evaluate myself from a neutral perspective and be very objective. And also, you know, his reference here to other people when he said the willingness to look at others objectively. So rather than through your lens, whatever that lens may be, saying, okay, this is objectively why they're doing what they're doing. And okay, this is maybe not relevant to trading and investing, but it could be in terms of who's on the other side of the trade. But an interesting quote, and one that probably is the best one out of the bunch here. All right, this is an interesting one as well. Unlike in school, in life, if you don't have to come up with all the right answers. You can ask people for help. That's so true, isn't it? Remember when you were in school, a teacher would say, okay, what's the answer? And you're like, I don't know, I can't remember. I wasn't even paying attention. I was doing something else. Whereas in real world, you can just go Google, you can have someone else employed for you who knows the answers. Anyway, let's get back to what it says. Or even ask them to do things you don't do well. In other words, there is almost no reason not to succeed if you take the attitude of one, total flexibility. Good answers can come from anyone or anywhere. In other words, you don't need to know them. And in fact, as I mentioned, there are more good answers out there than there are in you, which makes perfect sense. And two, total accountability. Regardless of where the good answers come from, it's your job to find them. What a great kind of summary of what makes a good business person. Even from a trading perspective and a hedge fund manager perspective, he's saying, okay, you know what? These guys in my team are way better at me at analysing this. They're way better at this. They've got the answers, so I employ them to work for me to build the team that I want. Even you think of a business owner might, a restaurant for example, couldn't cook to save his life. He gets the best cook out there to help him do it, or he gets the best kind of advisor to help him do this. Same with hedge fund managers as well, getting presented to them ideas by analysts who are better than them, and the hedge fund manager is the person who's allocating capital to the best ideas. So, you know, too many people try to do everything themselves, try to learn everything themselves, try to do this, try to do that. You don't need to do it. And from a trading perspective, an investing perspective, why not find somebody, if you're investing, who's good at presenting and finding ideas and companies, whether it's a premium service or a free service, it doesn't really matter, presenting those to you, and then you sifting through and allocating your capital to the one that's right. You could do that with trading. Maybe you could use a screening software, you could do this. The point is not trying to do everything yourself and recognizing when you can lean on someone else. Another kind of example could be, hey, you know what, I'm very poor at the psychological side of trading, I'm good at the analytical side. Why don't I team up with either another trader and we kind of, you know, work together, or I pay somebody to be a kind of mentor, a trading coach, a psychologist to help support that side, because then I'm very strong on the analytical side or the strategy side, all the way around. You know, there's all these kind of different synergies for trading specifically. Interesting one here, guys. Number 3, be wary of the arrogant intellectual who comments from the stands without having played on the field. And there's so many of these in trading and investing world. People who have had no skin in the game, or a very short amount of skin in the game, or very little amount of skin in the game. You know, they're giving all this advice and the stuff and the other. And okay, surely some advice is great. People have always got something to offer. There's always something to take. But if someone's, you know, giving advice for something they haven't really experienced themselves, it's hard to take that advice really as good as it's meant to be. You know, you have to take it with a pinch of salt is really what I'm saying. You've got guys like Ray Dalio who are giving advice. You know, I listen to it. I may not take it all on board, but I listen to it and I see how I can adapt it and bring it into my own life and into my own trading environment. Okay, what else we've got? Let's have one more for you guys. The more you think you know, the more closed mind you'll be. And you know, this is a big theme with Ray Dalio. He is very much focused on being, hey, listen, I recognize I'm not the best. I recognize, and arguably he probably is one of the best, but he says, you know what, I'm not the best. There are better guys out there, more cleverer guys out there, more intelligent, more efficient. You know, I don't think I know everything. He's very humble. He hasn't got an ego. And that's probably why he's in the position he is today. You know, he recognizes he doesn't know all the answers. He takes all of the people's opinions, all of the people's analysis or whatever it may be. He's looking at an investment opportunity or portfolio opportunity and then assesses it. He doesn't overrule people and say, maybe he does at some point, but the point is he knows when to use other people's strengths and when to use his strengths. So really good. I think, you know, if you've not sort of discovered Ray Dalio, do so. Have a little look around. He's got some stuff out there. I'll probably put a link to his book up here. His new book, actually, it's on Amazon and it's on Audible and new depending on when you're watching this here. I'm running through at the moment and that'll be interesting to see, and I'm quite enjoying it. It'll be interesting to see what other stuff he does. I believe he's got another one as well. Anyway, guys, that's Ray Dalio. So a few little quotes for you there. If there's any that you have that you can remember, stick them in the comment section below and maybe review them at some time in a later date. All right, guys, take care. Keep your risk managed. Bye-bye.